Hello, Paul Case here. Saturday, October the 15th. Going for a little drive. This could be considered a hayride, and if it is, it's the last hayride this year. I'm fetching some hay off of a field where I had rode it up, so I can move my cows to a different field so they'll have some picking there. Hay situation, I don't know how it's all going to play out. This drought we're in may not be busted this fall and winter. We have had this before where we were even dry way into the spring, so I'm going to try to make my hay last as long as I can and make my pasture last as good as I can. This up here hasn't been pastured. I have cows next door to it that belong to a neighbor of mine. Actually on both sides, and I had never baled this up here. If you look back in my videos, there's probably videos about me cleaning this up. I did it all with the Bobcat and loader bucket, cleaning this pieces up so I could bale them over here in this pasture. This is where we keep our bulls on part of this through the winter, but we usually don't pick them up till the 1st of December or so. Yeah, and my little road through here is pretty rough. But I've almost got it. I think Monday afternoon, Tuesday might be at earliest I get my cows moved over here. I still got to drive around a little bit of the fence. I've seen everything on this side, but I ought to go see what it looks like against the neighbor's hay meadow. I think it'll be all right because that fence over there is like 7 wires. Pawns down a whole bunch. Tell where it should be up to. It's just really dry. The little ponds up there in our bullpen may keep us from keeping our bulls up there. The 2 ponds that are in this, I'm sure by the time I get my cows moved back out of here will be down pretty bad. But I don't usually pasture this. I had calves in here last year. Well, to never do that again because I had so much trouble with stray dogs. There's one of them housing additions where a guy sold off like 5-acre lots off of 100 acres over here, just a quarter mile to the east of here. We get a lot of stray dogs, but that's all the bales I got left. I've already moved 30 some. 4 trips left. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 trips left. Got that all shut up and ready to go. This is hard to do one-handed, but I'll show you in my mirror what it looks like. If you can see in my mirror. My old Dodge truck has a Krogmann brand hay bed on it. It works kind of like a Dewey's. It is actually a bale unroller. And it's made so I can carry 2 bales at a time. It's all hydraulic. And it runs off from, in case you was wondering, the arm on the other side is timed with this one. So wherever this one here is at, is the other one's in the same position on the other side. So you can get by, and the bale rolled off. We'll just put him back up there. You can get by with just looking at one arm and knowing where the other one's at. So we just picked up 2 bales of hay that weigh 1,000 pounds apiece. 1 ton of hay. We go back out this really bumpy road. Just the extra that I bet this little row of bales that was on the west side of that lane came off of Lewis' place. We only baled it once this year. We had plans on a lot of that. Only baling it once this year because fertilizer was so high we didn't fertilize anything. Thought we ought to get a cutting off from it and then try to be to where we could pasture stuff, and that was what we wound up doing for the most part. tell you more about my hay bed on my truck. It operates that little control right there. Just 2 toggle switches and an on-off switch. And it has a hydraulic pump that's mounted on the motor, and it has a clutch like an air conditioner compressor clutch. That is electric, 12 volt. So you have to flip it on. So it only runs when you're using it, but it does have a belt going around it all the time. And so I have live power kind of there. It's not, you don't have to, you have to have the motor running, and it does not pull that much power off of your battery. A lot of people will get these hay beds fixed up on those 12 volt hydraulic pumps, and they pull a lot of juice from your battery. This one doesn't do that as bad. And operates really fast compared to those. Some of those ones that have just one pump that try to run a bed like this one is. Why, to give you an idea how close this ground all is to my home, we were at my house's driveway the other day in the video where I was bush hogging nothing. It was right there, just on the Missouri side of the line there. I wanted to put this down on the dash. That worked out that way. Yeah, my truck's a 6-speed Dodge with a 5.9 Cummins turbo. Ooh. I'm gonna him around. He's gonna have a headache. We had one of them in the shop building the other day over here. I guess it scared Scott a little bit. So that was about not quite half a mile, gate to gate. And I drove not quite a quarter mile up in there. But I've just been bringing these home to stack them so I don't have my cows rubbing on them. And cows will just tear a bunch of this up, and when you're trying to give it out to them so they clean it up, you need to only give them however much they eat a day. That's one of the joys of these hay beds. When I get to feeding these things back to them in the winter, I'll unroll what they need for a day. And with my bales and what they weigh, 30 cows can clean one of these bales up in about a day. So if I can keep 30 full-grown cows in a lot, well, they'll eat 1 bale a day. Those calves I got are to the point where they'll eat more than a half. So, but this has been a hayride on a Saturday afternoon, and it wasn't even dark. So any of y'all had never been on a hayride before, you can now say, well, I went with Paul Case on a hayride. He took me on a hayride. We'll get to do this some more later. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.